last night. They beat the Washington Wizards by 23, 111-88. LeBron became the second player in NBA history with a triple-double at age 40. The first was Karl Malone in 2003. LeBron had 21 points, 13 assists, and 10 rebounds. The Lakers play Boston Thursday night at Crypto.com. The final Associated Press Top 25 college football poll, which came out Tuesday, should give USC and UCLA a lot to think about after moving to the Big Ten Conference last year. 3 of the top 5 teams are in the Big Ten. National champion Ohio State, number 3 Oregon, and number 5 Penn State. Indiana, which also made the 12-team playoffs, finishes the season at number 10. It could be a while before USC and UCLA become contenders in football in the Big Ten. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Now that Donald J. Trump has begun a second term as president, please join the Empowerment Congress and KBLA Talk 1580 to examine the question, where do we go from here? Chaos or democracy? At the Charles R. Drew University of Medicine and Science. This Saturday, January 25th, some of LA's top elected officials, Representative Sidney Comlager Dove, Assembly members Isaac Bryan and Sade El-Hawari will be on hand for what promises to be a lively and informative conversation. Doors open at 8 a.m. The general session, moderated by Tavis, Smiley, and broadcast live on KBLA Talk 1580, begins at 9 a.m. The event is free, but seating is limited. Registration is required. Go to the Empowerment Congress website at www.empowermentcongress.org to register. Where do we go from here? Chaos or democracy? Join the Empowerment Congress and KBLA Talk 1580 this Saturday, January 25th. Doors open at 8 a.m. The free program starts at 9 a.m. Registration is required at www.empowermentcongress.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Erica's right. What a day, what a day. But I'm glad to have you with us on this day as we power our way through this program. In this hour, as promised, 2 conversations. On the B side of this hour, actress Layla Rashawn joins us live in studio to talk about her newest project, The Family Business New Orleans, on BET+. So Layla on her way in just a matter of minutes. We commenced this hour in conversation with the legendary civil rights leader and interfaith advocate, Rabbi Stephen B. Jacobs. I want to get his thoughts on Elon Musk's controversial and evocative salute the other day. What was that? We'll talk about the ceasefire in Gaza and a bit more, I suspect. Rabbi Jacobs, good to hear your voice. I haven't talked to you in the new year. Happy New Year, my friend. How are you, sir?
Thank you. I wish it were a Happy New Year. I want to start with the fact that regardless of the discordance all around the world, our friends and our families, hundreds of thousands, have lost their homes, have lost their hope, and they don't know how they're going to get through the next day. And the rape of taking rentals and misusing people and manipulating people. So it's not only that our hearts and minds go out to them, they feel alone, and we have an enormous responsibility to be supportive, to give them hope that the way Los Angeles can turn out is for people to live a little more in comfort, to recover what they can, but most of all, to be able to live in some peace. And this is, above all, our major challenge. So this is what we're living with, and particularly because we're so connected to the greater LA community and the great work that you are doing to reach out in all of our communities to give support. In terms of
hold that thought one second before you go forward. Hold that thought. Sure. It just occurred to me that I probably should have started our program here an hour ago because I promised this yesterday, and my producing staff didn't remind me of this. So spank them when I get off the air. Just teasing. But they didn't remind me. I'm not teasing about that part. So it just came back to me when Rabbi Jacobs referenced what we're trying to navigate here in Southern California. But I promised you yesterday when Ben Crump was on the program to give you intel about this town hall meeting on Thursday. I do have it. I just neglected to mention it to you in the first hour, although many of you already know this because it's already posted on all of our socials. So if you're in Southern California and you were affected by the Eaton Altadena fire, there is a town hall, community town hall tomorrow. It's Thursday, January the 23rd, 12 noon to 2 p.m. at the Pasadena Church East Campus. That's 425 North Sierra Madre Villa Avenue in Pasadena. You recall just a week ago, our radio station here in L.A. and my colleague Dominic DePrima broadcast live from this very same church. So the Pasadena Church East Campus is doing their part to love and serve this community, and that is the same location where Ben Crump is convening a town hall with others tomorrow to talk about your rights and the opportunities that you have right now to make sure that you are made whole. So again, that town hall is tomorrow, Thursday, January 23rd, 12 noon to 2 p.m. at the Pasadena Church East Campus, 425 North Sierra Madre Villa Avenue in Pasadena. All the detail that I don't have time to give you right now can be found. There's free food. There are resources, FEMA resources, insurance support, legal guidance, all of that. A lot happening tomorrow at this town hall. Again, 12 to 2 at the Pasadena Church East Campus. All this information is on any of our socials at my home station, KBLA 1580. Just go to KBLA 1580, our website, our app, our Instagram page, our Facebook, anything we have, this stuff is loaded up. So you can get the information you need. But I promised to bring that to you yesterday. Forgive me for not mentioning it in the first hour, but want to keep my word. There you have it. Everything again on all of our socials. Rabbi Jacobs, thank you for that pause. I wanted to get that in because you mentioned the turmoil and the travail. I forgot to announce that to our audience yesterday. You were about to say, please continue.
Thank you for that. That is so important to untold numbers of lives in greater LA, if not the whole state. When it comes to Musk, we are witnessing a new spectacle of fascism. This man, his relationships around the world with despots and with fascist people around the state should not come as a surprise. And for the ADL, with all due respect for the good work they do in exposing anti-Semitism, which you know is real, the bigotry against Muslims and Arabs, this man, for the ADL, in my opinion, is blasphemous to write him off and to say, well, this is just his excitement of the moment. There's a big difference between a sign and a symbol. When you're driving on the freeway, it says 65 miles an hour. That's a sign. You know exactly how you're supposed to drive and what the limits are. A symbol can affect a whole nation, if not the world.
Rabbi, hold that thought. You're starting to preach on me, and I love it. I just wrote that down. There is a difference between a sign and a symbol. I will let him continue when we come forward. You're listening to Rabbi Stephen B. Jacobs right now, and I'm glad about it, on Tavis Smiley.
Interrogating and unpacking.
That's what we do around here.
You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
Hey you, I knew I'd find you back in the same aisle. What are you looking for today? More fiber, more laxatives, more of the same ways to manage your constipation? Look, if your constipation with belly pain keeps coming back, you may have irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. Ask your doctor how Linzess can help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LANZESS.
Make a move into a home of your own. With City National Bank's Ladder Up Home Loan Grant, you could receive up to $20,000 that you never need to pay back. Use it toward your down payment, save on closing costs, or to buy down your mortgage rate. Find out more at cnb.com/ladderuphome. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Property must be in a qualifying market in California, New York, or New Jersey. Additional terms and conditions apply. Not all applicants will qualify. Terms are subject to change without notice. City National Bank is an equal housing lender. Member FDIC. NMLS number 536994.
Are you a recent college graduate with a dream of getting a high-paying job in sales? A job where you can grow a lucrative career in multi-platform audio, digital, podcast, social media, and local events, along with world-class training and career growth opportunities. KBLA Talk 1580, located in historic Leimert Park, is currently hiring entry-level account executives for outside sales. Join a team featuring radio hosts Tavis Smiley, Dr. Cornell West, Jesse Jackson Jr., D.L. Hughley, Dr. Nee Cordelai Corte, Zoe Williams, and our very own Dominique DePrima. For more information on attending our upcoming career fair, contact SMB at KBLA1580.com today.
Joe Montana here. In my football days, I knew the importance of a strong defense. Now I'm sharing how you can help defend your health against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease. Are you 50 or older like me? The CDC now recommends vaccination against pneumococcal disease. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at increased risk and over 6 times greater risk of hospitalization with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50. Schedule your appointment today at vaxassist.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
The new year brings new health goals and wealth goals. Protecting your identity is an important step. Your info is in endless places that could expose you to identity theft, leading to lost funds. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Resolve to make identity health and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Sometimes he fails at fitting in.
But we're okay with that.
You're inside the Tavis Smiley Show.
You are indeed with Rabbi Stephen B. Jacobs, a civil rights leader and interfaith advocate. Honored to have him on this program. I asked him moments ago, in case you've just tuned in, what he made of that evocative and controversial and weird salute, for lack of a better word, that Elon Musk gave us. And the rabbi said at the outset of this conversation that we are witnessing a new spectacle of fascism. Then he went on to say there's a difference between a sign and a symbol. Pick it up, Rabbi Jacobs.
Well, as I indicated, when you're driving on the freeway, there's a sign that's 65 miles an hour. You know exactly what that means. When you have a salute of a fascist such as Musk puts out, that's a symbol that goes around the world. Nobody can differentiate when they put out a fascist symbol of a Nazi salute and know exactly what that means around the world. And that's what's dangerous, when a symbol affects the whole world. Not a sign, but a symbol is evocative, that goes around the world, that people know exactly what he means. And to excuse it and to say, well, it was in the moment of joy of celebrating Musk, it's like, little preschoolers, get in line, keep your mouth shut, and don't say anything and just behave. Well, that's what they're doing, is they're selling us, just behave. This is just a celebration of Trump. This is so damn dangerous, and he gets away with, when people defend him and say, it's just celebratory nonsense. This is one of the most dangerous symbols that affects the whole world. It has, and it continues to be. Let
me ask you. You went there already. I was going to go there, but I'll just follow you. We all know the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, and I've discussed the ADL and their activities for 30-plus years of my career. And I was shocked yesterday. I was absolutely shocked, as obviously you were, given your earlier comments, that they gave Elon Musk a pass on this. How do you read that?
With disgust.
Yeah.
It is in the Jewish community. It is with disgust, and it is, I mean, there are Jews obviously that embrace that, but so many growing not only here in this country but around the world who reject that notion. That, I mean, as I said, and this is pretty hard to say, that's blasphemous to be able to defend him, and we're in trouble. You don't see people in the Arab or Palestinian or Muslim community standing up and defending him and say it was celebratory. We know that this is a dart into the very humanity of human beings.
Yeah. This is my comment, not yours. So I'm going to ask you to stand down for just a second, and then we'll press forward. This is just my assessment, and Rabbi Jacobs doesn't have to agree, but I want to just be transparent about this. The reason why I was so shocked by the ADL yesterday, the Anti-Defamation League, giving Elon Musk a pass on this Nazi salute, is because over the course of my career, I can't begin to tell you how many times I might be independently wealthy if I had a dime for every time my Jewish brothers and sisters, and I love them dearly, and the ADL and others have demanded that we push back on Minister Louis Farrakhan for things that he has said over the years. The ADL will not pause 1 second, not a millisecond, demanding that black leaders chin check the brother minister over things he has said and done that they find troubling or that they find offensive or that they find anti-Semitic. So I've been at this for 30 plus years, and I've seen this storyline so many times about the ADL and the brother minister. So I know this story well. And yet yesterday, when Elon Musk gives a Nazi salute, I've never seen Minister Farrakhan give a Nazi salute. But when Elon Musk gives that salute, which cannot be ignored, and the ADL gives him a pass, they give him a pass, I'm going to digress on that. You take my point. That's why I asked the rabbi to stand down. I just want to express that myself, because here's my thing. I just don't respect, nobody does, but I don't believe in, I don't want to ever honor hypocrisy. And that's what this smacked of to me yesterday. Whether you agree or disagree, if you want to check Minister Farrakhan, you can't let Elon Musk give a Nazi salute and give him a pass. I don't like hypocrisy. That's my point. I'm sticking to it. I'm done with it. Let me go from Elon Musk and this evocative salute all the way to the Middle East and the ceasefire. This ceasefire was good news for, I think, the world a few days ago, Rabbi Jacobs, and yet we know it's only for 42 days. So tell me how you're feeling about the moment that we're in and whether or not there's any hope that you hold that or have that this ceasefire will hold even beyond the 42 days.
My first concern is that people don't know that in this agreement, that in the West Bank, the occupation and the settlers are protected. They are not part of this, and they have their own protection, and that's dangerous. With the step down of Gavir from the government, it's a threat to Netanyahu that if he loses one other in the right wing, that his government could collapse and he would have to be up for re-election. That's his greatest fear. I think that the agreement and the first phase of it, that it can work, it's dangerous. But in the second phase, if he gets, since Netanyahu had the promises of the right-wing government that he could go back and go after Hamas, that's dangerous. That puts a tremendous challenge to Trump. I don't think that Trump would be supportive of having Israel go back into war after the first phase, because that would be on his dime, and it would be very dangerous for Trump to accept that notion. So I'm hoping that the ceasefire for the first phase of it holds, that more hostages are released, that more Palestinians are released, that they're able to bring in goods and services into Gaza, and that's hopeful. But it's done with a certain amount of reservation that this can hold. It's the second phase that's most dangerous. But, we're there. It started, and that gives hope. But listen, There are people who are unforgiving in Israel, my friends, and don't trust one bit of Hamas. But, hopefully we'll be able to, and it's with hope and good governance that we'll be able to promote peace for the Palestinians, for those living in Gaza, and give hope to the world about this.
It is at some level prologue. It's prologue at this point, but I want to ask it anyway. I'll come back to Donald Trump here in just a second. What was your read, or what is your read of the way that the Biden administration, Joe Biden in particular, handled or mishandled this most recent spate of violence? I don't want to call it a spate of violence, more than a spate. People would call it genocide. I can't use the word spate when some are calling it genocide. But the point is, the point of my question is, what to get to your read of the way that Joe Biden handled or mishandled this crisis in the Middle East on his tenure.
Well, I think he handled and mishandled two things. One thing that goes back to May was this whole program that could have instituted this ceasefire. I think that was good, but it took time to accept that and for Trump to get on board about that. In mishandling it, I think that the Democrats made a huge mistake at their convention by not having a Palestinian stand up and speak about the plight of the Palestinians in Gaza. Mm-hmm. And I think that was a misreading. Trump went to Dearborn. I mean, it was amazing. He went there and he met with Arabs and with Muslims. Kamala Harris did not do that. Now, there may be buyer's remorse from Muslims and Arabs in terms of what happened in Dearborn. But the fact is he did that. And my criticism of the DNC is that didn't put up the only people that spoke affirmatively about the Palestinians in Gaza was the family who lost their son.
That's right.
And that was a rising moment at the convention. But there was no other, and so many of us were hoping beyond hope that somebody responsible would get up at the DNC and speak on behalf of the people of Gaza and the Palestinians. So I think that was a tremendous loss of opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Why? I suspect there are those listening right now who wholeheartedly agree with you, nor my audience, but I also suspect there are folks whose right eyebrow might have raised a bit a moment ago to hear a rabbi suggest that the DNC made a mistake by not allowing someone to get to that podium at the DNC in Chicago to put a face on the suffering of the Palestinian people. Why would a rabbi take that particular point of view?
Because it's my 5,000-year tradition. I come from the prophets, from Micah, Isaiah, Jeremiah, who landed himself in jail, and I stand firm on that. I come from a rich tradition. And I have to tell you something, it's not only my tradition. You know very well that my mentor and my 40-year relationship with Reverend Jesse Jackson taught me lessons. We met with Arafat, we met with Syria, and I'm buoyed by his heroic attributes of bringing people together and meeting with people where he was severely criticized. But this is a man of the ages, just as you embrace Martin Luther King. I embraced Jesse Jackson Jr. and his amazing career and bringing understanding and translating. I can tell you that in the black community over the years with him, he never, ever uttered an anti-Semitic statement. I was on private calls with black leaders from all over the country who embraced the Jewish community with all of our differences. This is one of the great historic moments between MLK, Jesse Jackson, and I must say you, Tavis Smiley.
No, you're kind. You're kind. We mentioned my name in that pantheon, so you can tell Rabbi Jacobs is my friend. I love him dearly. He is my friend. I said I want to come back to Donald Trump. I will now. I asked you about Joe Biden. I appreciate your response to that question. What is your concern? We all recall that Donald Trump famously said, or infamously, depending on one's point of view, said that if the hostages in Gaza were not released by the time he was inaugurated, all hell was going to break loose. Thankfully, that ceasefire took hold before his inauguration. But what are your concerns about the Middle East in the Trump 2.0 era?
My concern is after phase one.
Yeah.
Simply, what does Trump do after phase one? I don't think, and I hope I'm not naive about this, I don't think that he's going to let Netanyahu get involved in another war after the first phase.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what I'm hopeful about Trump and his power over Netanyahu. I don't think that Trump wants to find himself in another shootout.
Yeah. I've got 2 minutes left, 2.5 minutes. I want to give it all to you, and I'm putting you on the spot, but I know you can handle it. You started this conversation earlier in specific reference to what's happening here at the fires in Southern California. Still not completely out, but we're making progress. Still concerned about the weather. But you started by saying people have lost, people here, too many people have lost their houses and have lost their hope. I want to give you just 2 minutes here to say a word, as you will, about how we can sustain our hope, all of us, no matter where we are. I'm not just talking Southern California, across the country, around the globe, in Trump 2.0, fighting the wildfires. How in a moment like this, Rabbi Jacobs, do we go about sustaining our hope?
Well, it's often been said it takes a village. And L.A. has been decimated not into a great city, but into a village. And into that village, well, let me put it differently. This is interestingly enough. I hearken back with this question to the prophet Isaiah.
Yes.
When he wanted to include more people in the tent, he expanded the tent and he drove in order to expand the tent, he had to drive deeper into the soil to hold down the tent so more people could get into it. That's the village of taking the tent and expanding it so people have hope. They're surrounded by people who really care. They're surrounded by leaders who can lead with all the criticism that they can bring people together, extend the tent to include more and more people, to be critical of those who want to take advantage of rents, and to give them hope that they can live in somewhat peace and comfort.
Yeah.
So that's hopeful. And this village of ours, with all kinds of leadership, whether it's the Muslim community, the Jewish community, the black community, the Muslim and Arab community, we can do and make a difference.
There's your sermon for today. Dig a little deeper and expand the tent. Dig a little deeper and expand the tent. That sermon brought to you by the Rabbi Stephen B. Jacobs, noted and legendary, iconic civil rights leader and interfaith advocate. Always honored to be in dialogue with him publicly or privately. Rabbi Jacobs, my love to you and your bride. Good to have you on this program, sir. All the best to you.
Thank you.
We'll talk
Love
soon.
being with you.
Love being with you. We'll talk soon. More of Tavis Smiley, Layla Rashawn, when we come forward.
For all the freedom-loving folk, this is Tavis Smiley.
I feel like freedom.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now. I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code MOTOR for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code MOTOR for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code MOTOR.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. The U.S.-Mexico border is closed to migrants seeking asylum now that President Trump has returned to office. Refugee admissions are also set to be suspended. California authorities are scrambling to protect the recently burned areas of Los Angeles County from possible mudslides. Southern California is facing a 60 to 80% chance of rain on Saturday. There's also a chance of localized thunderstorms, which could drop up to an inch of rain. Bird flu in raw food products has caused the death of over a dozen cats, according to the FDA. The feds are now investigating how the virus got into the pet food supply chain. Cases have popped up in California, Colorado, Oregon, and Washington state. And Joker Folie à Deux leads this year's Razzie Awards with 7 nominations, including nods for Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix. Phoenix previously won an Oscar for the same role in the original film. I'm Bree Wood on the Black Information Network, your home for Black News First.
Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
Is this the time? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers posted their largest victory margin of the season last night. They beat the Washington Wizards by 23, 111-88. LeBron became the second player in NBA history with a triple-double at age 40. The first was Karl Malone in 2003. LeBron had 21 points, 13 assists, and 10 rebounds. The Lakers play Boston Thursday night at Crypto.com. The final Associated Press Top 25 college football poll, which came out Tuesday, should give USC and UCLA a lot to think about after moving to the Big Ten Conference last year. 3 of the top 5 teams are in the Big Ten. National champion Ohio State, number 3 Oregon, and number 5 Penn State. Indiana, which also made the 12-team playoffs, finishes the season at number 10. It could be a while before USC and UCLA become contenders in football in the Big Ten. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Ray Richardson, your sports connection here at KBLA Talk 1580. Join me and my co-host Neil Scarborough every Saturday night at 7 for Out of Bounds, the show that brings some flavor to the world of sports for 60 minutes. We take you beyond the scores and press conferences. We give you our point of view, the way black folks see what's going down. You can join the conversation and give us your analysis at 1-800-920-1580. Out of Bounds every Saturday night at 7 on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
You like the style, though.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
New year, fresh start. Why not with better water? LifeSource Water gives you clean, filtered water from every tap with no salt and no frequent maintenance. Call 800-WATER-99 or visit lifesourcewater.com today. Warranty limitations apply.
Paid for by government.com. Did you know the United States Mint has issued a new Morgan silver dollar coin in proof condition for the first time? Not only that, they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 400,000 of these legal tender silver dollars were issued. These first ever Morgan silver dollars are brand new with stunning mirror-like finish, minted by the iconic San Francisco Mint. Call now and you're guaranteed a new first ever 99.9% pure silver proof Morgan dollar. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9717. If you order now, you will receive a free coin collector bonus pack, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9717 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-973-9717.
Freedom is an endless meeting. So let's get back to it with Tavis Smiley.
In love sometimes it's wrong, and sometimes it's right. For every win, someone must fail. But there comes a point when we exhale, yeah. Say, shoot, baby.
If you're watching on YouTube right now, on our YouTube channel, then you see Leela Rashawn in studio with us right now, looking as gorgeous as ever. And so when guests are in studio, we always give them the opportunity to choose their walk-on song. And so she chose this as her walk-on song from the soundtrack of Waiting to Exhale. It's Whitney Houston, of course. When you look back or think about that movie, and we could spend hours just talking about your career. I ain't got but 30 minutes. I'll do my best and beg you to come back at a later time when you have more time. But when you think about Waiting to Exhale, you think about Whitney, the cast, what do you think?
I just think about pure joy and love.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think I've ever been on a set since then where we loved each other like that.
Yeah.
It was real.
Yeah.
It was real.
Yeah. Leela came in and she was teasing me, saying, she told her publicist, what am I going to talk to Tavis about for 30 minutes? I said, are you serious? I said, I'm mad I didn't get an hour today because your career has been so amazing. We were playing a couple of clips earlier and just having a good time. We played the clip of you and Richie in the bed in Harlem Nights.
Yeah.
We teed up you and Eddie looking for Curbster in Boomerang.
Yeah.
You have had some classic scenes. You played in some iconic film. I know you're still busy. We'll talk about your new project, The Family Business in New Orleans. But again, you're raising a family and busy, but you ever stop to think about the classic roles and the classic scenes? I mean, this is stuff. I had people texting me and sending me messages earlier when we were playing clips of your stuff that if you don't know this clip, you lose your black card. I mean, that's just how ingrained you are in black culture. You ever think about that?
I love that. I think
Yeah.
I've been very lucky
Mhm.
that the projects that I did do were big hits. You know, I was always a less is more kind of girl,
Mhm.
and things that I would be proud of later.
Yeah.
And I think with social media and everything that never goes away, I'm starting to feel that and feel those good decisions I made.
Yeah. It makes a difference.
It does.
When you make the right decision. Denzel tells me this all the time, as did my friend Sidney Poitier. Said the two of them Negroes said the same thing all the time, that their careers were made more by the roles they turned down
Yes.
than by the roles they accepted.
Oh, I've made some mistakes, trust me.
Yeah, well,
But
we ain't gonna talk about that.
yeah, we won't talk about
No,
those.
we ain't gonna talk about that. So tell me about this, and I always want to take the opportunity whenever we talk publicly to make sure people know how to pronounce your first name. Your first name is pronounced correctly how?
Leela.
Leela. But so where did the Layla Rashawn thing come from?
I don't know.
Why do we all say that?
Maybe because there's many. There's Layla Ali.
Yeah.
There's I don't know, but and we had movie trailers where they would pronounce my name wrong, and
Yeah.
I think those stuck.
That
you know,
stuck, yeah.
early on. But it's Leela.
Yeah.
I am named after my grandmother.
Uh-huh.
God rest her soul.
Yeah. Does it bother you? I mean, I get called Travis all the time. After 30 plus years, people still call me Travis. I love it. And they say, Travis, I'm your biggest fan.
No R. No
yeah.
R.
I'm like, okay, if you're my biggest fan and you still calling me Travis, I ain't mad at you. I mean, I'm over it at this point.
Right.
Does it still bother you? And you?
No,
Yeah.
it doesn't bother me
Yeah.
anymore. I'm over it.
Tell me about your grandmother.
My grandmother?
Yeah. Who you're named after. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I have a couple of grandmothers. That one she was a hardworking lady.
Yeah.
She was a cook
Yeah.
in a cafe for years, and we called her Big Mama.
Oh, yeah. I got one of those.
And my other grandmother, my mother's mother, Etherin Scott, she was somebody that I sort of patterned my character off of in this show. Because I never forget one time my grandmother, we had some peeping toms in the window in Arkansas. I'm born and raised in L.A., but I would go to Arkansas in the summer.
Right.
And she said, oh, hold on a minute. She went and she got her pistol and she loaded it up and it spun around, and I was about 10 years old. And I was the only grandchild that followed her all the way outside. And she shot that thing in the air, pow, pow, pow. She said, they not coming back.
Yeah.
I said, oh. Ooh.
That's how we do it.
I was like, you are amazing.
I asked that question once you told me you were named after your grandmother. I asked that question in part because I think that lineage matters. I think that what we name our babies matters. And we went through a phase. I hope we're out of it. We went through a phase where Negroes were naming babies all kind of stupid stuff. I've told the story.
Taekwondo?
Yeah, exactly, Taekwondo. I was in the airport. I've told this story before, Leela. I was in the airport once. A lady rushed up to me. And I'm rushing, trying to catch a plane, and she running up to me, asked me if I take a picture of their twins. And so I said, my assistant's like, Tavis, we can't miss this flight. We got to be on this plane. I said, just tell them I'm coming. You go ahead. I stopped, got on the floor in the middle of the airport to pose for this picture with these two babies. I take the picture, and I get up and realize I didn't even ask them their names. How rude of me.
Right.
I said, I got to run and catch this plane, but I just want to make sure that we officially meet. What are your names? Alizé and Cavassier. Leela, I am not making this up.
What state was this?
Where they were traveling anyway. We were all in the airport. I think I was in DFW. Wow. But Alizé and Cavassier. So being named after your grandmother, they could have done worse.
Yeah, they could have done worse. They could have done worse.
They could have done worse.
And Roshan, my mom actually heard on the radio. Yeah, it's my middle name.
See, people didn't know that, I think.
Yes, it's my middle name.
Wow.
Yeah.
So do you hide your last name? Well, we know who you're married to.
No, it's Fuqua now. It's Leela Rashawn Fuqua, and I really tried Leela Rashawn Fuqua, and people still call me Leela Rashawn. So I'm like, okay, it's just Leela Rashawn. Yeah. You know, socially is Leela Rashawn Fuqua, whichever you prefer.
I ain't mad at you. Okay, Miles, you got this clip queued up for me. She referenced the new show. Let me just say a quick word about this. As a matter of fact, you know Ren Brown? Do you know Ren?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So Ren was in that chair yesterday.
Okay.
Ren has a new book out, and if you know Ren, you know that he's an archivist for his family. He knows all his family history. He's been researching it for years. He's the fourth generation. He's a fourth generation Los Angelino. His whole family, dating back to the 1800s, have been in show business.
Nice.
And so he has a new book out, and guess what the book is called?
What?
The Family Business.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. I guess there's no patent on that.
Yeah, I guess not. So we had a conversation yesterday with Ren T. Brown with this new gorgeous coffee table book. He's been collecting photos and all sorts of memorabilia, and it's a beautiful coffee table book. I tease him. I call it Meet the Real Browns.
Wow.
It's the Brown family, the Young family, but the history of his family in show business, in the arts, all these years is fascinating. So he was here yesterday, and I was laughing. Okay, so I'm talking about the family business on Tuesday and the family business on Wednesday. So that was Ren's book yesterday. This is the trailer for the new BET Plus series called The Family Business New Orleans, starring one Leela Rashawn.
You ever heard of a man named Jean LeBlanc? Godfather, New Orleans. He runs drugs, gambling, and prostitution in the city. We need you out in Vegas.
Shirley Duncan.
This casino right here, this is my family's legacy. And there is no amount of money that can buy it.
There's trouble brewing, and you need this. It will protect you.
We got a problem.
Who did you see carrying my brother's body?
If we don't get this figured out, we're gonna be in the middle of a damn war.
I shouldn't be telling you my family business, but my brother is a killer.
I am so sorry for your loss.
He comes to New Orleans without anticipating a little bit of trouble.
When the saints go marching in.
You can take down Big Shirley like that.
We're about to have some fun in New Orleans.
You're my only son. And I would give my life to protect you.
I'm a Duncan and we fighting. That's what we do. And now it's my time.
Dunkins want war.
Ready for the fight.
We gonna get a funky asses a war.
They've escalated everything.
Do you know who I am?
I'm ready for it all.
Welcome to hell, motherfucker.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
I won't let anyone come between my family or this business.
As you can imagine, Leela Rashawn, I play trailers all the time when guests are in. Sometimes they suck, and sometimes they're really good. That's a really good trailer. We'll let Leela Rashawn explain what you just heard when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
From Leimert Park with love, this is Tavis Smiley.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions.
Today's MVP, Joe Fallon's bedroom mini fridge. Sure, this pint-sized chiller's max capacity is 3 soda cans, but what it lacks in stature, it makes up in cooling strength. Each beverage a perfect 37 degrees every time. And the 2 feet Joe walks to get a drink, priceless. That's why his mini fridge is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC now recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Now that Donald J. Trump has begun a second term as president, please join the Empowerment Congress and KBLA Talk 1580 to examine the question, where do we go from here? Chaos or democracy? At the Charles R. Drew University of Medicine and Science. This Saturday, January 25th, some of LA's top elected officials, Representative Sidney Kamlager Dove, Assembly members Isaac Bryan and Sade El-Hawari will be on hand for what promises to be a lively and informative conversation. Doors open at 8 a.m. The general session, moderated by Tavis, Smiley, and broadcast live on KBLA Talk 1580, begins at 9 a.m. The event is free, but seating is limited. Registration is required. Go to the Empowerment Congress website at www.empowermentcongress.org to register. Where do we go from here? Chaos or democracy? Join the Empowerment Congress and KBLA Talk 1580 this Saturday, January 25th. Doors open at 8 a.m. The free program starts at 9 a.m. Registration is required at www.empowermentcongress.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up.
Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your Senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
Sometimes he fails at fitting in.
But we're okay with that.
You're inside the Tavis Smiley Show.
You are indeed with Leela Rashawn. Glad to have her in studio. The new series is called The Family Business, New Orleans. You heard the trailer. Tell me about the series.
Well, this is a spinoff of the original show, and we're very different, though. This is myself and Brandon T. Jackson plays my son, and I own a New Orleans casino that's been in my family for years. And I'm a part of the family that is trying to be honest and trying to live right. But, you know, it's a casino. Things happen. You have to call on some shady relatives to handle it.
It's a struggle, huh?
It's a struggle.
Yeah.
It's a struggle.
Yeah. The challenge to doing a spinoff is what? People know the original, and then you come with your way of doing it. And the challenge to doing a spinoff, to your mind, is what?
It was not a challenge to do a spinoff at all because I wanted the show to be very different from the original show. Myself and Brandon are executive producers on it, and we both come from the film world. So we wanted to just set the bar higher. We wanted it to look different. We wanted it to feel different. We wanted to make it our own.
Yeah. How does it feel at this point in your career to not just be acting, which is big in and of itself, but to be EPing and playing somebody's mama?
Well, playing somebody's mama is something I know.
Yeah, you know that part, don't you? Yeah.
And executive producing, I love. I want to do more of it. But, you know, at this point, I'm working with people where I've been in the business so much longer than them, and I hope that my creative inputs are wanted and valid. And I think just being a part of the creativity is very important because I have a lot to say and express.
Yeah. How does that part feel to be at a point in your career? We talked earlier about the iconic and classic roles you've played, but it must be something really special when you get a chance not just to be in something, but to EP it and the ideas and the vision that you have for it.
Right.
You see where I'm going here?
Right.
You get to bring that to the fore as opposed to interpreting somebody else's vision. That must be a feel good.
It is a feel good. It
Yeah.
really is. And it feels good to say it.
Yeah.
It feels good to say it. At this point, I hope I'm progressing into doing that and doing other stuff like that. But it was a collaboration. I thank Carl Weber for putting it on the page. He's a wonderful, wonderful writer.
He is indeed.
And when he brought me this character, Big Shirley, I was like, oh my God, I love her.
Yeah.
I love her. I don't know what you guys did before. I hadn't seen the other show, but I know when I connect to a character and it speaks to me.
Yeah. Well, you're working it. It's called The Family Business, New Orleans. Our remaining moments with Alila Rashawn when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
Helping to stretch your moral and political imagination. This is Tavis Smiley.
If you're like me, 60 and retired, making ends meet, especially here at the supermarket and drugstore, is tough. I'm so blessed to have found benefitscheckup.org. It's a free and confidential website from the National Council on Aging that connected me to $1,200 a year in programs that help pay for food, medicine, utilities, and more. Maybe it can help you. benefitscheckup.org.
You know where you want to go in life, and City National Bank can help. City National knows the dedication it takes to build your vision for the future into a reality, and our team is here for you. We have a wide range of options to help, from personal savings accounts to interest-bearing money market savings accounts and more, all designed to help you get where you want to go. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Learn more at cnb.com. City National Bank is a subsidiary of Royal Bank of Canada, member FDIC.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Time is up. The IRS is in full collection mode for 2024, issuing liens, levies, and garnishments to anyone who has a past tax debt or unfiled tax returns. Don't wait till it's too late. Your paycheck and bank accounts are at risk of being seized. Call now and stop the collection process today. If you're living check to check, no matter how much you're making, you still may qualify for the Fresh Start programs offered by the IRS to reduce or even eliminate your tax debt. It's just a 5-minute call to get your options, and it's free. If you owe back taxes, have years of unfiled tax returns, under audit, have a wage or bank levy, or finally just want to sleep better, business or personal, call the experts at Republic Tax Relief while there's still time. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and tough. This veteran-owned company has the fight you need to take on the IRS. Don't go at it alone. The call is free. Call their hotline number now, 800-652-1714. That's 800-652-1714. Find out if you qualify today. Call 800-652-1714 or go to republictaxrelief.com.
He's a paradigm pioneer and the top-rated African-American talk show host in the nation, according to Talkers Magazine. You're tapped in with Tavis Smiley right now.
Tavis Smiley and Leela Rashawn. The new BET Plus series is called The Family Business, New Orleans. She's an EP on the show and plays Big Shirley. She's doing it all, and I ain't mad at her. I was saying to her, and actually, let me say to the audience, which they hear me say all the time, that sometimes the best part of the show happens during the breaks. And I have to stop myself from talking and stop the guests from talking because you can't reprise it as nicely on the air as it happened the first time. And so I was asking Leela off the air whether or not you would call this a comeback. And you said, you started quoting LL, didn't you?
Yeah, I said, don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years.
But it is true that folk have not seen you in this light.
That's true.
No pun intended. In this light for quite some time. Why? Why come back? I'm going to tell the audience what I told you off air. It ain't like you need the money. Antoine ain't hurting.
We doing all right.
Yeah, you're doing all right. I see the jewelry you flossing right now. So you didn't need the money. So why?
Because I love acting.
Yeah.
I'm an actor. I'll act until I die.
Yeah.
And my kids were a priority. Mm-hmm. You know, my kids were very much a priority. My marriage and raising two kids 22 months apart, and you've seen the career he's had. Somebody had to do it.
Yeah.
And it was the greatest thing I've ever done in my life.
Yeah.
I loved every minute of it. But my son graduated in June, and I was offered the job in December, and here I am. Because everybody has to be creative and wake up and do something you love.
Yeah. Since you referenced it, what do you make of the career that Antoine has had and is having? I've known him for years. By the way, Terry, our trainer, told me to tell you hello.
Hello.
Saw Terry yesterday. We'll see Terry again today in the boxing gym. But Terry has worked with Antoine in a number of films and Denzel. It's a family, right, at our gym. So Terry sends his regards. But what do you make of this career that your husband is having and building?
Two things.
Yeah.
His career is spectacular.
Yeah.
And behind every good man, there's a good woman, and she's right here.
Somebody said, no, I heard somebody say, no, that's not true.
Beside.
There you go. Not behind. Beside every good man.
Beside.
Yeah.
But no, his career has been spectacular. Yeah. And I knew that the first time we met. He directed me in an Albie Shore video. Mm-hmm. And I was like, who is this young 27-year-old director?
Yeah.
Shot us in black and white. I was like, this is beautiful. He's really talented. Yeah. I knew it then.
Yeah. And the rest, as they say, is history.
Yeah.
And then 2 babies later.
Yeah. Well, that was many years later, but yeah.
No, I'm just teasing. It's a beautiful thing. They are a power couple in this town. She's now EPing and acting in The Family Business, New Orleans, and it's on BET Plus tomorrow night. In fact, it is on, and so I invite you, as does Leela Rashawn, to tune in. There you have it. See, I told you 30 minutes goes really fast.
It flew by.
And I ain't even scratched the surface of your career.
I know.
So you got to come back.
Yeah.
All right. Good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
More of Tavis Smiley when we come forward.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.